welcome back. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me using products and brands that I don't normally reach for in my collection, or products that I have never used in a video or I haven't used them in a really long time. So just basically either first impressions or mini reviews, or you getting to see some more products that I own that maybe you might want to pick up, but I don't reach for them very often. I often film my makeup before work, and so you don't get to see dramatic looks like this, like smoky green olive stuff with false lashes and everything, because I don't do that. I work in a corporate office, but my dress has like green polka dots today, so I figured why not, and I'm not going to work, so might as well enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy watching. Let's get started. For moisturizer today, instead of my usual Clinique, I used the Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar Refreshing and Refining Moisturizer. I have a deluxe size sample. Already did that, let it sink in a little bit. I also already went in with my Bobbi Brown Hydrating Under Eye Cream like a half hour ago, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Benefit Puff Off. This is a deluxe size sample. It's really tiny, but I'm using it kind of knowing that it's not going to be as good as the real thing, because the real Benefit Puff Off, I hear, has like a metal applicator, I think, that's like cooling, but this is supposed to help with puffy under eyes. I don't know if it's puffy under eyes. It's like lunchtime right now, so I don't know that I have puffiness, but I figure we'll try it. Now that sinks in, I have a couple of primers that I want to use. I'm going to be using the Cover FX Calming Primer because I do have like a lot of active stuff going on. But I'm also going to be using the Girl Meets Pearl by Benefit, which is like a luminous, it says it's liquid pearl for face. So I'm going to kind of customize my mixture here. Put some of the Cover FX Calming Primer, and I'm just going to tap that on areas where I know I have some issues going on right now. Also going to use the Pearl one, the places where I tend to get dry, and between the two of those I have a primer. Today I'm going to be using a foundation that I personally find a little bit difficult to pull off because I have dry skin. So I'm just kind of like tapping the places that I already put the calming primer, but I wanted to get some of this luminous stuff, luminous finish underneath the foundation. My face is pretty dewy. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I have this in the shade NC25. And this foundation I've worn one other time, and it was very drying. I did not find it flattering on my skin, so I'm actually going to be applying this with a damp beauty blender, and hopefully that'll add a little bit of hydration, and the fact that I used a hydrating luminous primer perhaps will help as well. Make it just like not sit on my skin so heavily and dry looking. Might be a little light right now. I guess I've got some sun. I've really got some color lately, so I am a little bit tan. Well, I'll start there, and I'm just going to pounce my beauty blender. If you haven't seen a beauty blender before and after, I actually cleaned mine today, so you'll be able to see. But this one that I'm holding in my hand is big because it's soaked with water. This is it naturally. So if you are trying to like consider buying a beauty blender and you're like, how big is it going to get? That's how big the difference is. But if this looks a little too light for you, don't worry. On me, don't worry if it looks too light. I'm going to go ahead and bronze like a champ today. I've got a new bronzer to try. I'm very excited. That I wanted to use this Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Corrector. This is in the shade Light to Medium Bisque. So it is in a like concealer-like tube. And I'm still going to do my concealer on top of this, so don't worry, but you'll see it is like a salmon color. It's not my skin shade or anything, it's salmon. So I'm going to use the same beauty blender that I used for my foundation and just tap that in under the eyes. And you don't want corrector like all over the face, you just want it right where you need the color correction, which for me is just like a tiny little inch square basically underneath the eye. Or the Nike check mark, you know, that's what I need. Just a little bit. Okay, so I've corrected. Now I'm going to conceal. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer, and I have it in Y23. As I said in my haul, because I have tried this numerous times now, a little bit of this goes a long way, and also go a shade darker than you think you need. This is like the light medium shade, and you'll see it's pretty brightening. Also going to take that same color, whatever's left on the sponge, and I'm going to use that down the center of my face in a strip, kind of. But see, a little bit goes a long way. Like, I'm still working off that same dot I put on my hand, so. I've got my foundation and concealer on. Now I'm going to be using this Lorac Oil-Free Wet Dry Powder. This is in WD2. It is super pale. I'm not going to lie, I think my face is a lot lighter than my body at this point, but I'm not going anywhere super important today. So I'm just using a small tapered brush. This is the tapered highlighter brush actually by Jessup, which I get on eBay. I think you can also get Jessup on Amazon. Very affordable, a lot of dupes for Sigma brushes. So I mostly just tapped that, pressed that in under the eyes. I didn't swipe back and forth, I just kind of pressed it in. And that'll help your powder not feel like, looks like it's sitting on your skin. It just kind of helps it blend a little easier. Today I'm going to be using cream products more than I normally do. I'm going to be using 2 of these. These are Clinique Chubby in the Nude foundation sticks. This one is in Gargantuan Golden, number 24, and then this one is in Intense Ivory, number 6. So one is really light and one is really dark. I'm going to just draw on my skin. They do twist up. I'm going to draw. Now, this is a golden color. This is not a contouring color. This is a warm, not a cool tone brown, but I don't care. I'm going to use it anyway. So there. And then I'm just did the cheeks for now, and then I'm going to use the ivory one, which is too light on me, and do it mostly at the top of the cheeks and right below that golden. So I kind of have 3 stripes going on. It's like super light, really dark, super light. And then I'm going to use my same beauty blender and kind of blend those in together. It's going to pounce that damp beauty blender, and I'm pushing this contour color a little bit upwards. You don't want that golden color to protrude down here onto your, for lack of a better way to say, your beard. You don't want to look like you have a beard. So you always want to make sure you have some white, some natural color or slightly lighter than your skin there. Hopefully you can tell that my cheeks are just a little bit more bronzy, a little bit more defined. Wasn't doing anything extreme. I'm going to take the same dark one and I'm going to draw a line on the side of my nose. And a little bit on the tip of the nose, so I look kind of like a little deer, Bambi costume. Take the same beauty blender, but this time I'm using the point, and I am pouncing it there on the sides of the nose. And this is actually slimming my nose a little bit. And then I take whatever's left on that point up almost between the brows. And then you could set all of this with a powder product on top of the cream. So if you had the same color brown as the stick, you could use a powder right on top. You don't have to. I have dry skin, so I could definitely get away with not setting my face. But I know for many women that is not the case. This looks really dark, huh? The ivory color, and draw a line right down the center of my nose. And blend that out as well. I'm using a Bobbi Brown little makeup set thing. They don't sell this one anymore. This is the Bobbi and Katie kit, but the blush I'm going to be using is a permanent blush. It's a Pot Rouge in Raspberry. It's like this nice, pretty dark berry color. So literally I just stamped my middle finger there in it. And I'm going to put dot, 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 and then just kind of like use that finger and keep patting it in, because this color is very powerful. You can also use your beauty blender. This is another cream product. It works wonderfully with your fingers or a beauty blender. For my lips today, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. This is a reshape and resize up liner in Pink Venus. So it is a pinky, peachy, natural color lip liner. I'm going to go ahead and use a makeup wipe real quick and just kind of wipe off my lips. I think they got a little bit of foundation and stuff on them. Oh yeah, you can tell now my lips are like actually skin color. So I'm going to line them. And I'm filling them in as well. These lip liners last forever. And then I'm using a Milani lipstick. This is the Milani Color Statement in Nude Cream. It is really just like a light pinky color. I love how these taste. If you guys have not tried the Milani lipsticks, you totally need to. And then this is going to last me like hours and hours, but I'm going to put a gloss on top of it, which may tone down the amount of time it lasts, but I think it just looks really pretty when you have glossy lips with the amount of eye makeup I'm about to put on. I'm going to be using the Estee Edit Flash Photo Gloss. This is like an itty bitty 100 point brick, like itty bitty. It's supposed to make your teeth look whiter. I don't know that it works, to be honest with you, but we're going to try it anyway. It's just a clear gloss. Okay, so I do have a powder bronzer that I want to go ahead and apply because I just did my cheeks with the bronzer. I want to do like my forehead. So that is the Estee Edit. This is the Barest bronzer in 01 Light Medium. It's a very large bronzer. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush and this light bronzer. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Radiance Wand. And I'm just taking that like all around the perimeter of the face. So the hairline up here on the forehead area and then down the sides of the face a bit. And then a little bit under the chin. This is the Buxom eyeshadow in Satin Seduction. It's that color on the very far end. And it is like a whitish pinky nude. Whitish pinky nude, yep. That's exactly it. And I'm just using a no-name brand fan brush. I don't let anyone tell me I can't use a product for something else. Like, this is called an eyeshadow? No, it's a bomb highlighter. Look at that. Like, I don't care. Whatever's left on my brush, down the center of the nose, maybe in the center of the face, nothing too dramatic. And then I tap my finger in it, my middle finger, and I apply it right to the Cupid's bow. Okay, for eyebrows, I'm going for a strong brow today. You rarely see me pull this bad boy out, but I'm doing it. Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. This is in the color Chocolate. It's like a little pomade, and you just use an angled brush and a spoolie. To fill in your brows. So this is the kind of product that A, dries very quickly, dries out very quickly, does not last very long. It's supposed to only be good for 6 months. Also, I find that it's very dark. It's hard to work with. I would not recommend it if you're a beginner. But here's who I would recommend it for. Somebody who has a lot. I'm just taking very little bit on the brush and just kind of like lightly doing small strokes that mimic the hair size. I would recommend it for someone who needs waterproof, because they literally have no eyebrows. Like somebody who needs the full coverage, they can't get by with just using a little bit of powder. They need something that's going to come off a little darker. Or if you like your brows looking really dark, I totally recommend it. I don't think it's definitely not my favorite, but I like it because sometimes I do want a little bit of a stronger brow. You always want to make the tail of your brow, the darkest part, and the inner corner here to be very light. So kind of gradient from really light all the way to dark by the tail. And then once you've gotten it, I usually actually leave out the front like quarter of the brow or so. I just don't even touch that. And then when I feel like I have nothing left on the brush, I'll do that part. But yeah, this product is really good if you need that definition. If you have a lot of sparse areas, or you're working with like not a lot of hair. I'm using this MAC paint pot. This is in the shade Indian Wood, and it's like a really pretty golden color. And I don't know that it actually is like able to be seen now once I finish the eye look, but I do like the way it looks. It's just like a nudish color, but it's got a little bit of a metallic, maybe slightly coppery or orangey. My nose contouring is driving me crazy. It's like my nose is running. I don't know why. When I film, sometimes I just get like really congested. I'm going to be using a mixture of MAC and Makeup Geek shadows. This is a Makeup Geek matte shadow. This is in the shade Time Travel. So it's like a deep greenish turquoise. And I'm using a no-name brush, like flat eyeshadow brush. There's no fluff to this. This is like more like a concealer brush or a paint brush than an eyeshadow brush that you're used to seeing. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap that on the lid up into the crease all the way across. And this is just going to help me get that depth, that darkness, that deep color that I want. And you can always go on top of it with shimmery shades. I'm using 3 of these shades from MAC. So the first one is Fiction. Fiction is like a smoky greenish gray, but a little bit shimmery. Just use a flat brush, regular old eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go on top of that color. This is not very pigmented, so you're probably not going to be able to tell that I did anything. It just adds the slightest bit of a shimmery finish to it. Go in with the shade called Sumptuous Olive by MAC, and that is just as it sounds. It's a shimmery olive color. Use a flat eyeshadow brush again and Sumptuous Olive and tap that on the lid, and that is really where the light color is coming from. I'm going to use that same brush, So I'm putting this mostly on the inner 2/3 of the eye. I'm leaving the outer eye. I'm going to use that same brush, and then I'm going into MAC's Lucky Green, which is more of a lime green slash yellowy green with shimmer. And I'm going to use that on like the inner quarter of the eyelid. So more on the inner part. So it's going to go from super light, kind of light medium, medium, and then super dark. So now I'm using a tapered blending brush. This is just a fluffy eyeshadow brush, the Sigma E40, and Makeup Geek's Peach Smoothie. And I'm using that up almost exactly to the brow. Almost to the brow bone. Just above the crease where all this dark stuff is going on, but almost to the brow. And that's just adding a slightly warmer undertone up there. And then I'm going to go in with the Makeup Geek shadow called Baby Face. And this is definitely more white than the peachy color, but it is not white by any means. So like if you have medium deep skin and you're struggling to find a brow bone highlight that doesn't look stark white on your skin, you might like Baby Face because it's a little more of an off-white. Using a Sigma E30, this is just like a pencil brush, and the biggest place that you want to accentuate is at the arch and towards the tail end of the brow to make it look very arched. But I do take a little bit and put it there with that brush on the inner corner of the eye. The color that I'm really going to be concentrating on blending with is this one by Makeup Geek. It's called Hipster, and it's like a light medium shade of brownish, tannish, grayish. I'm just using an eyeshadow brush. This one is by It Cosmetics, the Heavenly Luxe No Tug Dual Eyeshadow Brush. It's just your standard little eyeshadow brush, but this color is not super pigmented, and I actually like that because that's how I'm going to do my blending. So I'm actually going over the line where the dark green hits the peach smoothie color. So it's like I'm trying to bridge that gap between the greens and the peach. Now I go back into each of the colors and touch them up as needed. I'm using Gorgeous Gold by MAC. It's really like a greenish gold on the inner corner. And that just adds like a little bit of sparkle. If my eyes look red, I think it's allergies. I don't know what's going on, but. Then I'm using that Fiction color again, about halfway over across the lid. I'm going to apply this Tarte eyeliner. This is in the shade Hunter Green in the waterline and tightline. Now I'm going in with this Starlooks brand Ultra Olive liner, and I'm only going to be doing this on the lower lash line just below that waterline. This is basically like almost as if I took an olive green shadow and placed it right underneath there. Then I'm going in with Kat Von D's tattoo liner in Trooper on the upper lash line. And curl your lashes and apply some mascara. This is the Josie Maran Argan Black Oil Mascara. So I'm just curling my lashes really quickly. And I'm going to apply a quick coat to the top and bottom lashes before applying my lashes. The lashes I'm using today are by Ardell. They are the Ardell Natural 117s. I have one on already, so this is a new pack. But the band is super thin. That's why I like them. This is the Duo Lash Adhesive. It's the brush-on lash adhesive that you can get at Sephora. I believe it's around $9. So I'm just applying a thin layer across the lash band here. I'm going to allow it to dry for 30 to 60 seconds and pop on the lashes. Now I'm using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I did touch up around my nose a little bit with the white, the lighter of the two foundation sticks to try to hide that, but I think it's just because my eyes are super red. My eyes are super red and I have allergies, but I'm just going to set my face. Alright guys, this is the finished look. It's a very smoky, olive, shimmery, dramatic smoky eye look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.